Morning, everyone. Hope you're off to a great Saturday morning. Got my iced coffee from Tim on McDonald's today. You can't be $1.65 for a large iced coffee. Like that's grand. I'm enjoying it. It's supposed to be wet. It did rain last night a little bit, and it's supposed to get some more rain today. And I was out earlier this morning for a walk, and it was beautiful. Enjoyed it immensely. Nothing better than that morning crispier air, I guess you could say. It wasn't really cold, but it was nice. So, at any rate, I hope you get your chores done and inside out of that rain a little later on today. And so you can sit in your porch. That's kind of what I like to do. When it's pouring down rain and it's not blowing on my porch, I like to sit out there and listen to the rain and watch the rain fall. And I find it very relaxing. Sometimes I even fall asleep out there. But anyway, we're going to look at actually three guys who are interconnected. In Paul's letters, we read of many men and women who helped him in different areas. Some brought scrolls, some helped start churches. I think of Luke and Timothy. Silvanus is another guy that helped them, faithful warriors and workers with him. And then there was others who failed. I think of Demas. And then there's others who had failure in the ministry, but one in particular I'm thinking of is John Mark. He labored with Paul and Barnabas on their first missionary journey. That's in Acts chapter 13. And they set out on that journey. They needed a helper. Barnabas suggested take his cousin, John Mark. And so they go. Now, Barnabas is an interesting character. In Acts chapter 4, we find out his name is Joseph, but he's known as Barnabas, which is the son of encouragement, the son of consolation. Barnabas is a gentle, kind soul, one he gave away all his wealth to the church, and now he sets out with Paul. And he was a big encourager for Paul, too. Like, when Barnabas met Paul, he was all over him, and Paul was kind of like, ooh, no one touch him. We're not sure about him, but he embraced Paul as well. So they take along John Mark, and all went well for a time. Mark might have thought, hey, I love this. Man, it's exciting. They're traveling. They've left Israel or Jerusalem area. They've gone to Cyprus, so they've taken a boat journey. They're seeing new faces, new markets, new cities to visit. They're going all over the place. But we don't know exactly what took place, but not long after leaving Cyprus, John Mark's out. He leaves. They cross Cyprus and sail for Turkey. John Mark decides, I have enough of this. I'm out of here. And the Bible doesn't tell us a lot. So in Acts chapter 13, verse 13, it says, now when Paul and his company loosed from Paeas, they came to Perga in Pamphylia, and John departed, just John Mark, from them to return to Jerusalem. So he left and he returned to Jerusalem. He didn't stick it out. He didn't stick at the task at hand. And he decided he had enough of this. And without consenting Paul and Barnabas, no real heads up, I'm out of here. I'm going back home. Now, when things get tough, I think anyone who's watching this, we've all had those tough times. It gets tough, so do we stay at it or do we quit? And that's what John Mark faced. So there's a decision that needs to be made. Am I going to plod away at it or am I going to quit? Okay, to be loyal to Christ and to the family, or am I going to be loyal to Christ or to the family or to fellow Christians or to myself? What's going to happen here, right? And that was the battle that John Mark had. So he heads for home, he quits, he deserts the work. In Acts chapter 15, verse 37, so this is a little bit later, Barnabas determined to take with him John, whose surname was Mark. They planned to visit many more churches again that the Lord had established. And who does Barnabas, the gentleman, say, we need to take along? We need to take along John Mark. He's got things taken care of. He's worked things out. And he'd gone home to Jerusalem. Yeah, he shouldn't have done that, but realized what he'd done wrong. And he's ready for duty again. So Paul and Barnabas are going on this journey again. This is after they've had the council in Jerusalem, and they're heading on, and they're going back on that journey again. And as I just read for you about what Barnabas says about John Mark, but Paul's not excited about this. This is not something he wants to do. He's like, no way. He can't. No, he left us before. He'll leave us again, and no way. And Paul and Barnabas, they do have some friction there, and they do split up. And there's been lots of questions like, who's right? Who was right? Was it Paul was right, not to take him? Or was Barnabas right to encourage him and things of that nature? I think both were right in their own ways. It was good because now there wasn't one team, there was two. Now, it could have been done better. I don't disagree with that. It just shows us that Paul and Barnabas are human just like you and me. But, wasn't sure about this young fella. Is he going to stay at it? But we don't got time for someone to desert again. We need to make sure that he's on the straight and narrow. And Barnabas is willing, because he's that encourager, he's really willing to pour his life into this fellow to make sure he stays on this path, to stay true, to stay faithful and things. And, what really is the test of the situation is about 10 years later. Now, the situation totally is, we don't know where Barnabas is. He could have passed away. We don't know. Maybe he was with the Lord. Paul, though, is a prisoner of Rome, and he's in chains. And he writes to Timothy, which is his son in the faith. He sets from Rome to Ephesus, and he writes this: only Luke is with me. Take Mark and bring him with these, for he is profitable for me to the ministry. That's amazing. What a tribute to that young man who'd failed a decade before, and we see that he turned his life around, he did right, he stayed at it, and that's a tribute to the Lord working in our hearts and lives when we fail and when we quit, that he can turn us around if we follow him to be faithful, helpful servants. He can take the failure, turn it into success, okay? He can take your fear and turn it into courage. He can take whatever you're facing, you feel like you're going to quit, you're going to need to retreat, and God's there. He's there to help us get through it and to continue for his honor and his glory. And we can all take encouragement in this story, from John Mark, who failed and was restored, to Barnabas, who kept on encouraging and equipping, to Paul, who refused at first, but later, acknowledged, hey, John Mark, man, you are profitable for the ministry. Let's get this thing going together. So I've always enjoyed that story. It's always been one that has been encouraging to me, because there's been lots of times where I've been John Mark, where I have failed. And there's other times when I'm like Paul, where I'm like, nope, that can't happen, da-da-da-da-da. And then there's been times, fortunately, I've acted like Barnabas as well. I mean, I guess I couldn't say fortunately. I have a tendency to be more like Barnabas. I like to encourage, but encouraging people along to stay at it, to stay serving the Lord, or get things right. So anyway, I hope that's been encouragement to you. It was encouragement to me this week as I thought about and put it together. I hope you can join us tomorrow, all right, at Legacy Baptist Church at 9 a.m. We're going to be examining Colossians. We're in for our second chapter of Colossians, and we're looking at signs of a mature church. And I believe it will be a help to you, and help to me this week as I put it together, and I think it'll be help to you as well. So I hope you'll be there at 9. And then at 11, we're going to be meeting outside, weather permitting. It looks like right now it's going to rain a little bit, maybe overnight, but in the morning it should be fine. You might get your feet a little bit wet. I'm not sure yet. Depends if the sun comes out like it's saying it is supposed to. So tomorrow morning at 11, it's going to be a lot different than our regular church service. Pastor Matt and his VBS team will be kind of giving us an overview of what the children have learned and things, and we're going to be encouraged by that. And it was a great week. They did a great job. They finished off yesterday. I think they had 28, 30 kids, something like that. So that was wonderful. And they had dozens and dozens and dozens of kids. It was really, really good, and they did a great job. And then following the 11 o'clock, so it will be a little bit shorter than our usual 11 o'clock because they don't have sit downs for an hour in VBS or 45 minutes or whatever. But at any rate, following that, we'll go right into our burger feast. Fast. I can't remember which one I'm supposed to call it, but it's going to be a good time. All right. We're looking forward to it. The burgers and buns are provided as its condiments, ketchup, mustard, and stuff like that. We're asking you to bring your favorite topping. I know someone's already contacted, said they're going to bring a bunch of onions. All right. We were out this morning getting some veds for it as well. And I know there's going to be some coleslaw provided. There's potato salad as well. But that's not putting on burgers. Okay, we don't put that on burgers. I mean, I suppose you could. No one's going to judge you as long as you eat it. Don't waste it. But like maybe if you want to put mango on it, or you got pineapple you want to put on it, or spinach, or cheese, or bacon, whatever. So bring those things that you would like to add. Just not for yourself. Bring enough to share with some other folks too. So we'll look forward to it. We'll have a shelter out there underneath close to where the barbecue is, and setting up things, and then you go through a line and enjoy it together. So it'll be a good time for you to, all of us, to meet the new kids who've been coming out to VBS and their parents who might come out. And as well, you can get in the East Wing and take some pictures with the amazing decorations they've put up. It is a wonderful job the folks did in our church. I can't brag on them enough. It's been fantastic, and they did a great job with the kids this week too, in teaching and leading and things. So very, very happy about that. But you get in there and take some pictures with your family and the decorations. You'll be goofing around in there. That's fine. We'll have a good time. And let's be praying for sunshine. So bring your lawn chairs as well. It will help for the 11 o'clock. If you can bring them, bring them. It will help so we don't have to haul out so many chairs from the church. All right. I think that's it. If it's not, you'll see me again, Lord willing. But I'm going to get back to enjoying my coffee. I think I might get a book in a bit and read. It's going to be a relaxing day after a pretty crazy week. All right. And certainly thankful for all those. And I didn't do too much at all, really. I really didn't do anything. Just show up and smile and help out work best I could. But anyways, enjoy your day. Keep looking to Jesus, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Take care.